Welcome to Night Horror, where the dark isn't just a place, it's a warning.
The night I should have been home it was supposed to be a normal evening. My daughter had her school play, The Wizard of Oz. She had been practicing her lines for weeks, repeating them at the dinner table, rehearsing in front of the mirror, even making me act out. The scarecrow, my wife, stood at the door, fixing my collar as I got ready. "Don't answer work tonight," she warned. "You promised." And I meant it. See, I really did. But when my phone buzzed and I saw my director's name on the screen, everything changed. My wife's face fell. "You're not, seriously, I have to," I said quietly. This isn't a normal call, because the director never called me directly, not once in 14 years. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know what might be watching next. The director's voice when I answered, his voice was completely unlike him. Usually sharp, confident, almost too calm. But this time, trembled. "Where are you, Combe?" I replied. "Is everything okay?" "No," he said, very quietly. "We need you here. Now. No excuses." "What happened?" "Tiss." His breathing cracked. I could hear movement in the background, shuffling, doors slamming, hushed orders. "This is a high-profile case," he said. "One of the highest we've ever handled. You are to come straight to the back entrance. Dude, not park out front. Do not interact with the staff. Do not speak to press if they're nearby. Just come directly inside. Press." I repeated, "What case are we talking about?" He paused so long I thought the call dropped. Then he said, "It's her. The singer. The one everyone is talking about." My chest tightened. I'd seen the breaking news just hours earlier. Fans crying. Crowds gathering outside hotels. PR reporters swarming airports. The whole world was grieving. And now, the responsibility had fallen on us. "Come immediately," he said. "And listen carefully. You are not to discuss anything you see tonight. Understand?" I swallowed. "Understood." The line went dead. The drive to the funeral home, the drive was silent. Just the hum of the engine and the weight of the world pressing against the windshield. Streets felt quieter that night, like the city itself was mourning. I kept replaying the news clip in my head. The announcer's voice, the shocked reactions, the endless tribute videos. But in the back of my mind, something didn't feel right. My director wasn't the type to panic. He'd handled politicians, millionaires, celebrities, never showed fear. Yet tonight, he sounded shaken, broken, afraid. When I turned onto the alley behind the funeral home, my stomach dropped. Police cruisers lined the back lot. Not one or two, but at least 8, and sitting in the distance, news vans, cameras, reporters pretending not to look in our direction. Every instinct told me to turn around, but I didn't. I shut off the car, stepped outside, and walked into the building. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know what might be watching next. The staff wasn't acting normal inside. Everything felt wrong. The fluorescent lights buzzed louder than usual. The hallways felt colder, and the staff, normally efficient, stoic, professional, looked like ghosts. Teppy. A few of them huddled near the break room, whispering intensely. I caught pieces of their panic. Never seen anything like equipment malfunctioned. Were not prepared. When they noticed me, they fell silent immediately. One of the interns, pale and trembling, pulled me aside. His voice cracked. Don't go back there. What are you talking about? I asked. You'll see, he whispered. You'll see why. Before I could press him further, our director's voice boomed from the hallway. Move. Everyone, back to your stations. Now. He stormed toward me and gestured sharply. Follow me. Confidential protocols. We walked through the hallway. He handed me a stack of documents. Sign these, he said. Non-disclosure agreements. Enhanced agreements, he corrected. More severe than the usual celebrity class protocol. No discussing procedures, conditions, observations, chains of custody, or any unexpected occurrences during preparation. I looked up at him. Unexpected occurrences. What does that mean? He didn't answer. He just pressed harder. Sign. Cookie. I signed. He grabbed the papers and kept walking at a brisk pace. We passed the security office now, fully staffed, watching every monitor like it was a hostage situation. We passed the chapel lights off, candles half melted, a faint smell of incense lingering in the air. Canned, finally. We approached the preparation wing, but something was different tonight. I noticed the frames along the hallway, usually decorative mirrors and polished metal plaques, were all gone, removed, every reflective surface stripped away. The doors to the prep room had thick black cloth covering the windows, and 2 security guards armed stood beside it. I froze. What's with the security? My director placed a hand on the door handle, then whispered, "This case cannot be leaked. Not a single photograph. Not a single whisper online. We protect her dignity at all costs." That much made sense. But his tone, his expression, his eyes darting to the shadows behind us. Something else was bothering him. Something he wasn't saying. Stay. Why remove the mirrors? I asked. He stiffened. Reflective surfaces complicate certain atmospheric conditions. What conditions? Another pause. Another flicker of fear across his face. We'll discuss that later, he muttered. Boom. Right now, we need to begin preparation. And we need to follow the protocol exactly. He pushed the door open. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Q. You never know what might be watching next. The air changed immediately, the moment we entered the prep room. Everything was wrong. The temperature dropped instantly. Cold, heavy stillness pressed against my chest. Not like regular cold, but like walking into a place that didn't want you there. 4 assistants stood around a covered stretcher, Tryandan failing to look composed. Every eye turned toward me. Some hopeful, some terrified. The director whispered, "Before we remove the cover, I need you to understand something." He swallowed. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've seen every condition imaginable. But what we're dealing with tonight is different. How different? Kay asked. He hesitated. His voice softened. You're going to feel things, hear things, maybe see things. Ignore all of it. Stay calm, and do not stop working. A chill crawled down my spine. What exactly happened before I got here, Coat? He didn't answer. Keone nodded to the assistant. Let's begin. The assistant slowly lifted the sheet. Even though I expected it, my breath caught in my throat. There she was, a global icon, voice that defined generations, a legend whose songs were playing worldwide that very moment. Her face was still, peaceful, almost luminous, like she was dreaming. But the minute the air touched her skin, the overhead lights flickered. The youngest tech gasped and stepped back. The director snapped, hold position. The lights steadied, and then I heard it so faint, I thought it was my imagination, a soft humming, a melody. Familiar, heartbreaking. But no one in the room was speaking. No speakers were on, cones were playing. The humming was coming from behind us, or above us, or inside the walls. I looked to the director in confusion. He didn't even look up. Do not stop, he said through clenched teeth. Keep working. And that was the moment I knew tonight wasn't just a hyperfile case. It was something else. Cass. Something we weren't prepared for. KO. Something none of us had training for. The world outside was grieving a legend. But inside that room, I had the chilling feeling she wasn't entirely gone. Not yet. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, dude. You never know what might be watching next. I worked 14 years in a funeral home. I thought I'd seen everything death could show a person. Until the night we received the body of one of the world's most beloved singers. Sheer voice, recognized across continents, dead, and now entrusted to us. I was supposed to be home with my family when my director called. His voice trembled. We need you here. Now. And come through the back. No press can see you. When I arrived, the staff looked terrified. Quote, every reflective surface in the prep room had been removed. 2 guards stood outside the door. Kou. My director whispered, you will feel things tonight. Ku. Ignore them. Do not stop working. The moment we uncovered her, the temperature dropped. The lights flickered. Pooh. And a soft humming filled the room. A melody millions were listening to that night and morning. But no speakers were on. No phones. No one was singing. As we began preparation, her fingers twitched. Everyone froze. Quote, muscle reflex maybe. But then her hand lifted, slowly, pointing toward the wall behind me. A shifting shadow slid across the tiles. Tall. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know what might be watching next. Human-shaped. Watching. Her lips moved. No sound. Just the shape of words, 3 syllables. Over and over. The humming grew louder. Layered voices filling the room like an invisible choir. Then her body jerked violently. Restraints tightened. Tools rattled. Toe. The lights died for 3 long seconds. In the dark, I heard breathing. Not for people. 10. 20. Something brushed my arm. Cold. deliberate. When the emergency lights returned, the shadow stood behind her, clear as a person. Q formed from smoke. It reached toward her, and she sat upright like something inside her fought to break free. The director fell to his knees, chanting. The vents above rattled, knocks echoed inside the walls. Her eyes opened wide, aware, and she whispered one single word, "Run." Then the room exploded in sound, humming, pounding, the metal groaning before everything stopped. Her body went still, the shadows faded, silence returned. Officially, they called it collective stress. We signed non-disclosure papers, no one talked tea. But every staff member who was in that room either quit or transferred. 2 weeks later, I heard that same humming in my daughter's room. She looked at me and said, "Daddy, the singing lady told me she remembers you." That was the last night I ever worked in a funeral home. Because some lights don't go out. Some voices don't fade. And some legends never really leave when the world isn't ready to let them go. By the time we finished initial preparation, the entire funeral home felt wrong. The lights flickered without reason. The temperature dropped in waves. And that humming soft, mournful, returning from places where no sound should exist. But none of that compared to what happened when the director said quietly, "Bring her in." 2 security guards rolled the stretcher toward the prep room. Active, everyone stepped back, like soldiers watching a bomb being brought through the door. No one spoke. No one breathed. When the stretcher crossed the threshold, the humming stopped completely, as if the entire building held its breath. The director nodded. Circle the room." We formed a protective ring around her. Not out of fear, but out of respect. Of understanding that the world had lost someone irreplaceable. I reached for the edge of the sheet covering her. My hands shook as I pulled it back, and once again, the air changed. Her presence didn't feel like a body entering a room. It felt like a force. Soft gravity that pulled the space inward. The lights dimmed without flickering. The walls themselves seemed to lean closer. She looked peaceful, too peaceful. Like she was sleeping. Like she could wake up at any second and ask us why the room was so cold. But then, the first sign appeared. A faint line of moisture trailed down her cheek. A tear. Fresh. Impossible. I stepped back, so fast, I nearly hit the metal cabinet. Cues. The assistants froze. One whispered, "That wasn't there before." The director's voice was sharp. "Stay focused. Keep working." We began setting up equipment, gloves, tools, preservatives. But the room felt heavier with every passing second. And then, something moved. Not her. Not us. Something behind her. Soft, sliding shape. Too dark to be a shadow. Too silent to be a person. It hovered at her back, stretching upward like smoke reaching for the ceiling. I blinked, and it vanished. Before I could say anything, the director shot me a warning glance. The kind that said, "Don't question what you saw." Not tonight. We positioned ourselves to begin cosmetic prep. My assistant leaned forward to gently clean her face. And her lips moved. A tiny motion. Barely noticeable, but real. The assistant gasped. I leaned closer and saw it for myself. She was forming words, silently, slowly, like someone whispering from underwater. 3 syllables, repeated, desperate, but before I could decipher the shape of the words. Every metal tool in the room rattled at once. The trays buzzed. The lights flared bright white, and then dimmed to a ghostly glow. The humming returned, louder now, layered, not one voice, many, dozens, hundreds, all singing the same, haunting melody. Every head in the room turned toward the stretcher, and I swear, for a split second her chest rose. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know what might be watching next. As if she breathed. That was the moment I realized, cut. We weren't preparing a body. We were interrupting something that wasn't finished. I didn't sleep the night after the cold room incident. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that pale hand sliding back into the drawer, as if it had retreated on its own. I told myself it was stress, exhaustion, or my mind playing cruel tricks after too many hours around the dead. But deep inside, I knew something else was happening. Something that didn't belong in a place meant to hold silence. I arrived the next morning, before sunrise. The building felt heavier, like the air itself was holding its breath. As I walked in, I noticed a folded slip of paper sitting on my workstation, right on the clipboard I had left upside down the night before. That clipboard had been inside a locked office. I shouldn't have opened the note. But curiosity, or maybe fear disguised as curiosity, pushed my hand forward. It held just 3 words, scratched in jagged capital letters. My first thought was that Mark was messing with me. But Mark didn't come in that early, and he wasn't the type to pull off cryptic horror movie pranks. Besides, something about the handwriting didn't feel human. Or maybe that's just what I told myself. I shoved the note in my pocket and tried to focus on work, but nothing felt right. The hallways seemed darker than usual. The lights hummed at a different pitch, and every time I walked past the staircase leading to the basement autopsy suites, the air felt colder, thicker, almost charged. Then, around 8:17 a.m., I heard it. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know what might be watching next. A voice. A woman's voice, soft, broken, echoing faintly from the basement. Stairwell. It sounded like someone calling for help at first. Teet. It was a whisper. Hello. Then clearer. Someone, please. My body froze. I knew every staff member who had clocked in. No women yet. Care. And that voice wasn't confused. It was desperate. I told myself it had to be the ventilation system. Or the radio. Or a leftover echo bouncing through metal corridors. Anything but what it sounded like. But then it spoke again. This time, using my name. Come down. I stopped breathing. No client family member knew me well enough. No coworker would imitate that voice. Can't. And nothing in the basement should have been capable of speech. I backed away, pulse hammering. When the basement door creaked. Open on its own, slowly, deliberately. It was pitch black on the other side. Every instinct screamed, "Don't go, Kay." And the note in my pocket felt like it was burning against my skin. But at the same time, something pulled me forward, a strange, irresistible tug deep inside my chest. The whisper came again, closer than before, as if someone was standing just behind the darkness. At the bottom of the stairs, where not finished with you. The temperature dropped so sharply, my breath fogged. My hand trembled on the railing. And against every piece of logic I had left, I stepped onto the first stair. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Con it. You never know what might be watching next. The second my foot touched the first stair, the basement door slammed shut behind me with a force that nearly knocked me forward. The sound echoed down the concrete steps like a gunshot. My phone's flashlight flickered, struggling to stay on, as if something in the dark was draining the battery, one pulse at a time. Every step I took felt heavier, like the air was pressing down on me. As I descended, that whispering voice, soft, female, trembling it no longer sounded like someone asking for help. It sounded like someone waiting when I reached the bottom. The air was so cold it felt wet against my skin. My breath came out in shaky clouds as I swept the flashlight beam across the room. The autopsy suite was empty, no staff, no bodies, no movement. Just cold metal tables and stainless steel cabinets, reflecting my trembling light. But then I saw it. The drawer. The same one from the cold room, upstairs, half open, just like before, except this time, hand wasn't sliding back inside. A hand was reaching out, long fingers, perfectly still, paler than anything living could be, illuminated by the narrow beam of my dying flashlight. I stepped back instinctively, but my foot hit something on the floor. Looked down, it was another note, folded, waiting. My chest tightened as I crouched, slowly picking it up. Handwriting was the same scratchy, uneven scrawl as the first one. 3 new words. You shouldn't looky, didn't want to open the drawer. I knew I shouldn't, but some part of me, some terrified, unraveling part, needed to know what was happening, needed proof that I wasn't losing my mind. As I reached for the metal handle, the entire room went silent. No hum from the vents, no buzz from the lights, no echo of movement, just a suffocating, unnatural quiet. I pulled. The drawer slid out with a slow, groaning scrape, and I saw a dash. Nothing, no body, no sheet, no explanation. It was empty, but the hand I had seen was gone. Then, behind me, I heard breathing, not soft, not human. Deep, heavy, wet breaths, like something that had been asleep for a long time and had just woken up angry. Every hair on my body stood straight up as I turned around. The room was darker. My flashlight dimmed to a faint glow. And in that weak circle of light, something moved. A shadow, tall, wrong-shaped, shifting like smoke, trying to hold a human form. It leaned forward, and in a voice layered with hundreds of whispers, it said, "You work with the dead. You should know." Some of them look back. My flashlight went out completely. The next thing I remember, I was running up the stairs, slamming myself through the door, gasping for air like I'd been drowning. I didn't stop running until I burst out of the building and into the daylight. That was my last day in that funeral home. I never went back. 10. I never retrieved my things. I never asked questions. Because some places hold more than bodies. Some places hold what follows them. If you want to uncover more chilling stories that the world wasn't meant to see, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Cunt. You never know what might be watching next.